Okay. Let's see. So paragraph 1 is introducing the topic. What is the title of this research paper? Can you remind me the title of the research paper? Self-citation, right? Okay. Now the first paragraph gave us an introduction, background information. About what? About citation, not self-citation, right? About citation in general. So here, the researcher did not start right away with like, oh, here is what I'm doing. No, stepping back, giving me a background, telling me about what other researchers did, like literary review, kind of. Not too much though, okay? So that's the first paragraph. If you need to take notes, these are your handouts, so you can take notes. So that's the first paragraph, right? Now the second paragraph, why is it there? What is it doing? Any volunteers? Can I have the mic? Any volunteers? The mic. Volunteers? Paragraph 2. Okay, thanks.
We talked about paragraph 2 as showing the role and the situation of the topic. So we had a broad introduction to the topic, but then we got a little bit more specific in the role and the contextual situation that this paper will discuss.
Right. So the second paragraph is narrowing it a little bit more. So I started broad, and then the second paragraph narrowing it a little bit more and telling me why this topic is actually, thank you, Ibu, important. Because you need to show the people who are going to be reading your paper that this is important. That's why I'm doing my research paper on it. And we have some keywords: significance, quality, right? Importance, indicator of research quality. So all of these keywords, you can see like, now I'm telling you why this is important. Paragraph 1, literary review. Paragraph number 2, why is it important? Now paragraph number 3, what is it doing? Yes, Ibu.
To present different views on self-citation.
Self-citation, that's the key word. So paragraph number 3 is about self-citation. And go back and look at the title of the whole research paper. It is self-citation. So now the researcher is getting to the point. That's now what I'm going to be dealing with. I'm not talking about citation in general. No. What I'm doing here in this paper is this. I'm getting focused. This is the focus of my paper now in my study. Okay? So from broad, literary review, importance, and then the focus. Think of it as like a pyramid. Okay? The last one. What is the last paragraph doing? Conclusion. Yes, but what is it doing? What is it doing? Yes.
To inform what the article is going to be about. The paragraph presents questions, so the rest of the article will be all about this.
The answer.
Yes.
Excellent. That's correct. So the last paragraph is, I gave you the introduction, the general information. I told you why it's important. I told you my focus. I'm telling you what I'm specifically doing, my goal. What I am doing here is I have some questions that need to be answered. And my research, all of this article, will answer these questions. So we can think of this as the gap, right? Because every field or every research has a gap. Like a researcher comes in, looks, and says like, no, I'm not convinced. There's something wrong with this. Takes the something wrong with this and does a research, right? So there's something wrong or something I'm not convinced about, that's the last paragraph. This is the point or the goal or the heart of my research. This is why I did my research, okay? So as you see, there are very simple 4 paragraphs, and the organization or the flaw is very easy. Can somebody summarize it to me? Do not look at this. Just tell me, how can it flow easily? 4 paragraphs, the introduction. I'll fill in the gaps for you. What is the first paragraph about? Everybody. Oh, no, the purpose. Introducing the topic. Okay, the second one? Narrowing it and telling me why it is important. The third one? The focus of your paper. And the fourth one? What am I specifically doing? What are the questions I will answer in this study? So you see, if you're writing a research article, you can organize your introduction the same way as well. You don't need pages of introduction. You just need 4 paragraphs. And this is what CARS model is about. There are 3 steps. Create a research space. So the first thing is you have common ways for an introduction. It's common for all fields. There are 3 moves. Establish the territory, introduce, and review, show that the research is important. Did we see this in this article? Did we? In which paragraphs? Paragraph 1, introduce and review, show the research importance is paragraph number 2, right? And then indicate a gap in the previous research. There's a gap, yep, paragraph number 4, and state how you will fill the gap in your current work. How am I going to do this? Okay? So that's for the organization. Let's move on to the citation.
All right, everyone. So let's take a look at citations. All right. Why do research articles have citations? Any ideas? This article that you read, these first 4 paragraphs, there were several citations, several people were mentioned. What was the point of that? Is the writer just trying to take up space? Okay.
To present more objective ideas from the point of view of other people, other experts.
Okay, fantastic. To present the ideas of other experts. Okay.
To avoid plagiarism.
Okay. Wow, that's a good one. I like that. To avoid plagiarism. I mean, I know that many of us here are already academics, but for those of you who are university students or planning to become lecturers, that's just something to please keep in mind. Plagiarism or being accused of that is something that can really damage or end your career. So just bear that in mind, that citations are very, very important in order to avoid plagiarism. Okay, are there any other reasons that we can think of? Let's see. Okay, so you can use it to build a more persuasive paper, right? Other people see that you've done research and you've heard what other people in the field have to say. All right, it's an opportunity to credit other authors. What are other people who are also doing in this field? What have they concluded as a result of their own research? It's an opportunity to demonstrate how the work advances the knowledge base of the field. You can basically show people what other folks have done. You can add strength to an author's own ideas, whether another author's or your own, by getting other people whose research conclusions concur with your own. All right, you can show respect to other scholars. In other words, just give other people their due in the field who have also done research. And finally, like we said, the young lady said, it's an opportunity for you to avoid plagiarism. Okay, now. All right, so now what we want you to do is we'd like you to get back to work in either with the person sitting next to you or in the groups of 3 that you were in before. And we would like you to work on answering questions 3 and 4 on the worksheet. So we're going to give you about 5 minutes now to work with your partner or partners, and let's see if we can draw some conclusions or come up with answers to questions 3 and 4. All right, the questions that you want to answer are, where did the citations occur? Are they concentrated in one part of the introduction or in various locations? And question number 4, the paper follows the APA, that's the American Psychological Association, author, date, style of citation. Where are the cited authors' names placed? Why? How prominent are author names in citations in your field? Okay, so let's continue now. I'd like to hear from some of the different groups that were working on questions 3 and 4. Who can answer question 3 for us? Where do the citations occur? Are they concentrated in one part of the introduction or in various locations? Who can start? Yes.
So the citations occur in various locations. Mostly in paragraph 1, from what I see, it's mostly in paragraph 1, but also in paragraph 2 and 3. Not so much in paragraph 4.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. All right, what about number 4, question number 4? The paper follows the APA author, date, style of citation. Where are the cited authors' names placed and why? Any ideas? Raise your hand. No, sorry. Okay. Any ideas for that one?
The citations generally appear at the end of an idea or at the end of the sentence if the sentence is about one idea, or when they're actually quoting somebody and specifically talking about a scholar's argument, that they might include the scholar's name in the actual sentence and say, so-and-so argues that, and then quote, or, yeah.
Very good, thank you. Okay, so now, there are 2 different types of citations that we're going to discuss today, which were seen in this article. The first is what's referred to as integral citations. That is when the name is part of the sentence. For example, Davis and Papanek, 1984, maintained that because blah, blah, blah. All right, so in this case, it's a part of the actual sentence. That is an integral citation. The other type of citation that I'm sure you saw in this article is what's referred to as a non-integral citation. All right, the name is not part of the sentence. And if you look at the sample there, you'll see that, all right, some information is given, but then in parentheses, the names of the authors and the year that they published their findings, all right, that is placed in parentheses. So these are the 2 types of citations that you will find in this particular article. Okay. Integral or non-integral citations? I guess the question is, when do you use them? Under what circumstances? Let's take a look. Okay. Some are based on the field or the journal. In other words, depending on what your field of study is, you're going to find that academic journals have different requirements. Some of them will want integral citations. Some of them may want to use non-integral citations. So, if you are a scholar and you're interested in publishing in a particular academic journal, the thing that you must do is you must examine that article, that journal, to see what the requirements are in regards to this and other requirements that they may have if you want to publish your work. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. For example, different fields make different uses of integral or non-integral citations. From one study done by Highland and Thompson, we can see that in the field of biology, most of the time when they do academic articles, they use non-integral citations, as opposed to philosophy, which for the most part, most of the citations made in philosophy academic articles are what would be referred to as integral. Okay. Okay. Some also will be based on your decision. For example, if you are quoting or using information from a well-known author, you will probably want to use an integral citation, right? Because the name is it's the name that's commonly known to everybody, or to most people in that field in any way. All right, then in some other cases, you may want to use a variety or a mix of integral and non-integral citations, such as we saw in the journal article that you were just asked to read. And then finally, if your focus is on ideas and not people, that is an indication that you may want to use non-integral citations.